The reason we knew the name Benghazi even before this tragic attack is that it is essentially the birthplace, or at least the headquarters, of the opposition movement within Libya that led to the downfall of the Gaddafi government. One of the reasons Ambassador Stevens was back in Benghazi is because symbolically it was so important during the opposition, and the State Department under Secretary Clinton had decided that it didn't want to just have a major facility in Tripoli, it wanted to have some sort of a big presence in Benghazi because of its importance to the new government of Libya. There is no question this was a huge tragedy. 4 Americans were killed, including the ambassador. There are still a lot of questions about exactly what happened. On the night of the attack, you have 2 U.S. locations, the first being the consulate. It comes under attack sometime around 9 o'clock in the evening. The place is overrun. Extremists get into the building. There's some firefight back and forth. We know one of the security personnel was killed then, and we found out hours later, Ambassador Stevens. Then the attack continued at a second location. Many of the personnel at that consulate site evacuated to what's called the Annex. The Annex is about 1 kilometer away. It is more fortified, it is more heavily guarded, and we now know that it was mainly a CIA storefront. There's a healthy debate in Washington about whether this is just a partisan witch hunt, a sideshow, as the president would say, or whether this is a legitimate government oversight as the Congress tries to find out what was the security situation before the attack, what happened during the attack, and how and why was some bad information given to the American people after the attack. Then the next step is there are some, led by Republicans in Congress, who say the administration then engaged in misinformation, mischaracterizations, and in the eyes of some Republicans, a cover-up.
No acts of terror will ever shake the resolve of this great nation.
The administration says this is not so. The administration says that, yes, there was some conflicting and some inaccurate information put out in the early days and early hours. They say it was simply an issue of fog of war, that they were getting information from a number of sources, and as we often see on big events like 9/11, some of that early information is not accurate. Another theory is that people in the State Department wanted to protect Secretary Clinton. People in the State Department thought the CIA is trying to write a document that says, "We told you so. We told you it was a dicey environment. We told you there was jihadist activity building up. We told you extremist terrorist groups wanted to attack Americans, and you did not boost security at your facility." At the State Department, what they're saying is, well, that's disingenuous. That yes, there were those warnings, but that especially the Annex, and to a degree the consulate itself, were largely being used by CIA personnel, and that if security needed to be boosted, the CIA was at least as equally responsible as the State Department, if not more so.